Hi students, my classes have been and will be based on the following strategy. I will approach my classes in such a way that students should get equipped themselves with the very basic concept of each and every chapter and the various techniques involved thereon. In my initial videos, sufficient explanation has been given in respect of all the rudimentary lessons of accountancy. I repeat, all the rudimentary lessons of accountancy, such as the entity concept, generalizing techniques, ledger maintenance techniques, etc., etc. Keeping in mind that the students' mastery over these rudimentary lessons are absolutely essential for tackling various accountancy sums to be convincingly worked out by me for you in the days ahead. I suggest students to practice these basic things themselves so that as and when we take up tough and tough sums, rather tough and tougher sums, you will find it yourself very comfortable to follow my classes. Special points of each and every chapter will be explained using a whiteboard. Thereafter, practical questions of each and every chapter of any standard textbook will be worked out. There's a meaning in explaining to you the illustrations of any textbook, which I hope you will be able to manage yourself. I'm sure you will agree with me that it won't be practicable for me to work out the complete practical questions set out in the textbook and post as many videos in this channel. One or two very simple sums of each chapter will be worked out initially, to be followed by a few tough and tougher ones of the chapter. However, you have to support me with the relevant questions being kept ready at your end, either by managing the particular textbook or by noting down my typed version of the same. I will be displaying each and every such typed version of the related question in advance before working out the answer. This will be displayed in such a way that you will find it comfortable to pause the video. I repeat, to pause the video and take it down. While displaying a particular sum already worked out by me, I'm providing you with my entry by entry convincing explanation. I repeat, I reiterate, entry by entry convincing explanation. I'll be simultaneously reading out the relevant part of the question from the textbook available at my end. Well, students, I have got more than 22 years of experience in giving accountancy coaching to the students of almost all the leading schools and colleges in Bangalore. I used to do it only as a passion beyond my office hours. Now that on my retirement, since I would like to continue with this passion, I find that this YouTube channel is a very good platform for reaching out to students and helping them out in clearing their doubts and making them comfortable with the subject accountancy. Finally, please subscribe to my channel so that I get sufficient motivation in continuing with this work. Thank you, my dear students, and all the very best. Hello, students. As far as the chapter cash book is concerned, I would like to work out as many sums as possible, not 2, 3, or 4 as originally scheduled for other chapters. Reason being, this is a very important chapter. And also, once I do with this cash book, the chapter to be immediately taken up is bank reconciliation statement. And your thorough and absolute knowledge about cash book is essential in dealing with the complex problems of bank reconciliation. Okay. Well, today I'm doing just 4 number of sums. Other things, please refer my BSc 006 also. They just concluded previous video. Okay. Question number 10A, 10B, and 10, 11B, and 12. 4 numbers will be worked out. Okay, let's start now. Well, students, question number 10A. I'm posing the question to enable you, I mean those of you who could not manage a textbook, to take it down. Okay, you got comfortably the video post. Okay, fine. Now let me work it out for you, or in other ways, whatever I have worked out and satisfied myself, let me explain to you entry by entry. Please keep it in mind. Usual stuff, I won't spend much time. Only those critical entries will be explained and re-explained, and sufficient emphasis will be shown. Cash in hand, rupees 6,000. To balance brought down 6,000. Bank balance, credit balance. By this time, you are absolutely clear that it's a overdraft only, and credit balance obviously by balance brought down 3,000. Deposited into bank, a contra entry. So bank to cash 2,000, cash by bank 2,000. Okay, fine. Now received from Mohan, how much? 400. Cash to Mohan. Why cash? Nothing categorically told bank, unless otherwise mentioned. By default, it is cash. Right. Discount allowed, we know it doesn't have a place whatsoever in a cash book. That is done through general proper. I had explained to you sufficiently in the previous videos. Right. Received a check from Hari and send it to bank. Of course, very comfortable. Same day itself, I can book in the bank. 600 to Hari. Credit the giver, debit the receiver, bank to Hari. Or in other words, receipt means debit side of cash flow. Payment means credit side of cash flow. Okay, thumb rule. Fine. Received a check from Mohan, discount allowed. Well, students, I had read the question completely. I understood. They are not categorically told it has been sent to the bank. And I find that on a later date, it has been deposited. So you should also read the complete question, okay? And wherever required, make a tick mark so that it has to be appropriately dealt with, right? Here, the check received has not been deposited into the bank on the same date. So what I have told you, check in hand to the gentleman. What is Uzi? Prem Mohan. Okay, check in hand to Prem Mohan, 1,600. On this date, on Jan 9th, cash book has got nothing to do, only through general proper. Fine. Then, next on 12th, withdrew from bank for office use, 300. Contra entry, cash to bank 300. Okay, bank by cash 300. Okay, that's all we are very thorough by this time. Bought goods for cash 600. Okay, what's the entry? Purchase to cash or cash by purchase 600. Sold goods for cash 1,200. Okay, to save 1,200. Paid to Ganesh by check for 94. Discount received rupees 6. That is got nothing to do in my cash book. Physical inflow by way of a check is 494. That and account. I'm sorry, it's not an inflow. It's a payment. Okay, physical outflow. So by Ganesh 494. Right. Prem Mohan's check deposited in the bank. I told you, yes, this on the date of receipt, we had account that through general proper. Now they are depositing into the bank. At the time of receiving, I had debited it. Now I am crediting that account and bank is debited. Well, student, there is some other golden words you have to remember. An account followed by to is always a credit, and an account followed by is always a debit. Because this, of course, to sales, cash debtor to sales. So sales is obviously credit. Let's take this one, cash by bank. Bank to cash is what written as cash by bank. X to Y is nothing but Y by X. Just keep it in mind. Account followed by to is always a credit, and account followed by is always a debit. Okay, fine. Because these are easy tips for you, so that mistakes are avoided. Okay, fine. Then Prem Mohan check has been deposited. Next one. Sold goods to Gopal for 1,500, for which he gave 800 and a check of rupees 700. Somewhat complex. Okay, fine, but I can easily explain it. Fine. On the date of sale, how much cash had come? How much cash we had got? 800. Of course, we have no objection in that. Cash to sales, cash to sales, cash to sales, 800. Cash to sales, 800. Okay. And check. Here we find it has been deposited on a subsequent date. So as usual, check in hand to, what do you write? Gopal or sales? Never make the mistake, Gopal, sales here, because he had given me across the table, maybe partly by cash or partly by check. So it was a cash transaction. Cash transaction doesn't mean purely cash. Cash transaction may be cash or check. Cash transaction means it is not credit transaction. That's the meaning of it. Okay. So what happens now that I have to show this to the extent of cash in the cash column? Yes, I have shown it to sales 800 as far as cash is concerned. Okay. And the balance 700, check in hand to sales 700. Okay, fine. Deposit into bank, including Gopal's check 900. This is, be very careful about it. You have made a deposit into bank. How much? 900. Out of that, how much you had kept under check in hand? 700. Balance is obviously cash only. Okay, be very careful. They said they have made a total deposit into the bank to the extent of 900, including the previous check of 700, which I had debited under check in hand account. So that I am reversing to check in hand 700 in the bank column, and to the extent of cash to cash. Okay, bank to cash. And I know bank to cash, of course, my hand has to get shifted here. Cash by bank 200. I think you're very clear now. Yes. So this entry, carefully learn it. Okay. Paid rent by check. Okay, simple. With bank rent 150. Withdrew from bank for personal use. Just because on seeing the word withdrew, don't jump and show it as a contra entry. Categorically, they're told it's personal use. So buy drawings 200. It's not a contra entry. Drawings to cash. Drawings to bank rather. Drawings to bank. Withdrew from bank. So bank by drawings. Bank notifies that Prem Mohan check was disowned. Fine. Prem Mohan, let us be, how much? Prem Mohan originally was kept under check in hand 1,600. On deposit, check in hand got nullified. At the entry, net effect of it was bank to Prem Mohan. So now it has been disowned, means just reverse the entry right here by Prem Mohan 1,600. Never write by check in hand. Don't make that mistake. Because check in hand has been nullified. Okay, as a credit here and as a debit here. Net effect being bank to Prem Mohan 1,600 original entry. Now I am reversing it. Prem Mohan to bank. So by Prem Mohan in the bank column 1,600. Okay. Received from Anil 217 cash and by check 540. It's nothing complex. To Anil 270 in the cash column and 540 in the bank column. Okay. Discount allowed. Okay. Discount allowed, I need not again and again tell you. Discount allowed has no place in cash book. The double column cash book, of course. I think the triple column cash book has been removed from your syllabus. Okay. Otherwise, scenario would have been slightly different. Okay. Let's not worry about what is not there in the syllabus now. And they have categorically told the check was deposited into the bank. That's what I confidently put it to Anil in the bank column itself, as far as the check is concerned. Cash, of course, we have to put it. Okay. Bank charges as shown in passbook. Bank charges means the bank charges shown by the passbook has got nothing to do with the cash column. The bank has reduced their balance at par with when you are issuing a check. So it is nothing but the expenditure is to be debited and bank has to be credited by bank charges file. Okay. Paid salary 500. Okay, by salary 500. So all the entries have been correctly posted. So balancing. How to balance? Confidently cash in the debit side. I find 8970. 8970 I find. And I will carefully explain whether as far as bank is concerned, which side is more. Right? Well, I find that this credit side is more. Okay, if the credit side is more, let me. Okay, credit side is more. Total it. I put the same total here. I found the difference 109. This side balance carried on, 2 balance carried on. You know that closing balance of an account denoted under balance carried on. This side means 2 balance carried on. Credit side means by balance carried on. Okay, small mistake. Pardon me. I told you I'm alone. There's no one to help me out. Okay. Balance carried on 5670. So total is 8970 equal. So how we balance? Balancing I need not teach you every now and then, but once again, because these are all day-to-day things we'll be doing, it's better again and again explain. Okay. Total the heavier side. Cash column, you can close your eyes and total the debit side first, because minus cash is not possible. Put it across, find the difference, put against balance carried on. Bank column, carefully see. It can be when overdraft also. I find, yes, my bank column credit side is more. So totally put this side, find the difference, show it against balance carried on. Okay, fine. So your dear author also has agreed to that. Cash balance as well as bank balance. I hope I satisfactorily explained to you. Okay. Well, students, let us start with question number 11B now. I skipped the in-between question 11A because I find it is one and the same of 11B, a replica of 11B. Let's not waste time on it. Okay. I'm pausing this one as usual for enabling you to take it down. Balance also. The answer has been given: cash 450, bank 72710, and there's an adjustment 20,550. I'll explain all this. Fine, let's deal with the answer. Started business with cash, of course, to capital 50,000 in the cash column. Pays into bank, contra entry. You are an expert, so I'm not wasting much time on it. Bank to cash 29,000, cash by bank 29,000. Received check from Raja and Company 800. To Raja and Company 800. Discount allowed is there 20. Of course, we need not show it in the cash book. It's a double column cash book. Had it been triple column cash book, scenario would have been different. So for single column, I'm sorry, for double column cash book, ignore it. Withdrew cash from bank for private use 240. Private use from bank by drawings in the bank column 240. Purchase good for rupees 1 lakh. IGST 18% payment by check. Well, IGST, the term I never explained to you when I introduced into a GST. I had told you only about CGST and SGST. IGST denotes integrated GST. Okay, that is required in case of interstate sale only. That much knowledge is sufficient for you for the time being. When we will be learning in detail the GST, at that time more we will learn. Okay, and also what you should keep in mind is that when it is IGST, only one entry is required, IGST with the full amount of tax. Okay, understand? So here it is IGST 80%. Of course, you know, purchase related will be input. So by input IGST, 18% of this one, 18,000. Next one, sold goods for 1,50,000, trade discount 20%, IGST 18%, payment received by check. Net of trade discount only the story starts, I told several times. So 20% of 1,50,000 is nothing but 30,000. 1,50,000 minus 30,000 is 1,20,000, and that is the basic sales I have booked here. To sales 1,20,000, and of course output IGST. Because why output? Because it's a sales oriented GST. To output IGST 21,600. That is nothing but 18% of this one. Okay. Payment by check, their category tolls. Hence I straight booked into bank. Received check from Kamala, discount allowed. I have not shown any entry here, receive, because I told you we should read the question completely. There will be such similar trapping elements will be there. You will be forced to write, again cut, and it will decompress them. So I seen the check has been disposed of in the next day. So on the date of this receipt, no entry. When I received, of course, they ask you, how will you handle it? Through journal proper, check in hand, 395, discount allowed account debtor 50 to Kamala 410. Okay, fine. Here, of course, you say in the cash book, I told you no discount. This is not cash book, it's journal proper. There you have to account everything properly. That's why check in hand 395, discount allowed 50 to Kamala 410. In the next day, find Kamala's check endorsed to Bala in full settlement of her account of 425. So it's a check received originally endorsed to someone. I have told you already that a check received and found to be endorsed to someone on a later date or on the same date, it has got no place whatsoever in the cash book because check has not been seen by the bank. Okay, on date of endorsement. Who has been settled? Bala. For how much amount? 425. So endorsee Bala debtor 425. Check in hand has to be absolutely same, 395. I nullified it. To discount received 30. So obvious, no? 30 rupees discount will be there. Yes. Discount received because I told him I have seen him off with a check of 395 and settled him for 25 rupees. Means obviously I have ensured a discount of 30. That is a discount received 30. Next one. Pay rent by check. By rent, the bank column 1,000. That's all. Deposit into bank balance in excess of 450. Yes. How will you handle it? In such a case, what I told you before this scenario, what was the balance? How I will get it? What was the total debit balance cash I had? 50,000. What was the credit? Only 29,000. This comes later on in connection with the current requirement. That is not there. So 29,000. 50,000 minus 29,000. 21,000 balance is there. Cash box now. Cashier has been advised, Baba, you keep only 450. Obviously, he has to put in the bank balance. So leaving that 450, he dumps in the bank 20,550. Desired balance will be taken care of. So there is a contra entry for 20,550. Bank to cash, cash by bank. Obviously, if you balance cash column, you'll get 450. Bank column, I find debit side is 1,90,950, and that is the larger side having more balance. And put it here. There's a balance of this one. I indicated both against by balance carried on. That's the balance your dear author also has agreed to. Okay, next day obviously you bring it down. Okay, so let us now take up question number 12. As usual, I am posing the question up to 10 to this much only. Thereafter, this part. And this again. We have to arrive at the cash balance of 4,000, bank overdraft 1195, and adjustment 10,000. I'm re-showing it. Well, students, let's analyze rather the answers worked out by me, and let me convince it for you, right? Balance of cash in hand, 12,000. Overdraft, 1,500. You know, by this time you're an expert. Overdraft comes in the credit side. Deposited into bank 10,000. Bank cash, contra entry 10,000. Cash by bank, contra entry 10,000. Sold goods for cash 28,000 and paid half proceeds into bank. Carefully read. Paid. So 14,000 each. I'm not showing this 14,000 as a contra entry because they are not deposited. So it has been paid means we can assume that this part of 14,000 customers directly deposited into the bank, hence no contra entry, right? They are not categorically told us deposited into bank. So let us, and on the same date. So let us assume like that. June 5. Next one. Purchase goods for ₹7,000 on June 3rd from Manoj and company on credit. You know, a purchase on credit doesn't get qualified in the cash book. It is taken into the purchased book. I'm afraid in the previous video, I must have shown this on credit purchase and on credit sales through the journal proper. If at all I have done it, it's by mistake only. Inadvertently, I have done it. It doesn't have a place as such in the journal proper. It has got a place in the concerned day book, maybe in the purchase day book or sales day book, as the case may be, right? But anyway, it doesn't get qualified in the cash book. I explained it for students to understand how it will be dealt otherwise. Okay, thank you. Next one. Received a money order from Suresh, ₹500. I told you money order means we received cash. Okay, from whom? Suresh. So cash, Suresh 500. Received 2,800 from Govin's, paid 1,000 into bank. Read carefully. Received 2,800 from Govind, paid 1,000 into bank. So this also happened in the same day. So 2,800 I have received overall. Out of that, 1,000 moved to the bank, paid into the bank. Not I have deposited into the bank. So I'm bifurcating it suitably. 1,800 I received across the cash counter and hence in the cash column, and 1,000 bank received directly from the customer, so in the bank column. Received a check for ₹7,600 from Subhash in full settlement of ₹8,000 due from him. Yes. I have told you, I will invariably read the complete sums, and you, my dear students, you too must do that. So this check has not been deposited on the same date. Hence, today, the 10th June, it doesn't get qualified in the cash book. However, in the journal proper, I'm showing check in hand account debtor 7,600, discount allowed account debtor 400 to Subhash 8,000. Okay, because you owed me 8,000, I told you, Baba, pay 7,600 rupees. It implies that I have allowed him a discount. So on this day, it doesn't have a place in the cash book. Let's ignore for the cash book purpose now. 12th, settled account of Manoj and company by payment of rupees 6,600, half cash and cash, half by check. So Manoj and company 3,300 and 3,300 each. Okay, fine. 3,300 and 3,300 each. We agree that? No objection. Settled account of Manoj and company by payment of 6,600, half cash and half by check. I don't think I owe you any further explanation. Okay, right. Check received from Subhash deposited into bank. Yes, this check has been deposited into the bank. So what is entry? Bank to check in hand, 7,600. Check in hand has got cancelled. We have dealt with similar cases in the previous video and preceding some sort. So, right. Paid for purchase of machinery by check 20,000. So buy machinery in the bank column 20,000. And they say paid wages for the erection of above machinery 1,000. Paid wages. How they told you it is through bank? No, obviously it is through the cash payment only. Then what I have shown, I show it in the cash column. Is it wages or machinery? Yes, please keep it in mind. Any incidental expenditure in connection with the installation of an asset will be booked in the asset name itself. Okay, because asset value has practically grown up, right? Or the cost of the asset has practically gone up. You will see all this we'll learn in detail when we take up the chapter called depreciation. Anyway, for the moment, keep it in mind. Any incidental expenditure subsequent to the purchase of an asset till it is installed in the office will be booked in the asset account itself. Okay, fine. Check issued for rupees 6,000 in favor of Sachet Deva and company for purchase of furniture. See, his name is mentioned here. So irrelevant here. I purchased a furniture. Okay, it is not a credit purchase or anything like that. I paid him. So what will be the entry? Tell me. Buy furniture 6,000. Practically, I purchased the furniture, paying a check for 6,000, and this is the only entry possible, right? Purchase good from Kalpana Garments for 10,500 on credit. On credit, it will be booked in the purchase day book, and of course not in the journal proper, in the purchase day book. Anyway, it doesn't have place in the cash book as of now, right? Received a bank draft rupees 4,800 from Damodar and company in full settlement of rupees 5,000 due from them. Yes, send the draft to the bank. So practically, the sentence can be reframed that a check received from Damodar and company, check or draft one and the same for accounting purpose, to the extent of 4,800 has been deposited into the bank. So bank to Damodar and company, how much? 4,800. Then you may ask, what about the difference of 200? How is the account has been squared up? So all what I can tell you that I have shown there, but by the time you are an expert, discount will be debited and Damodar and company will be credited with 200 rupees. So his account will get squared. Okay, you get a credit here 4,800 on account of the draft he has received, and on account of my discount allowed, he will get further credit of 200, and his total amount of 5,000 gets nullified or squared up, right? Next, bank issued a draft for 10,000 in favor of Kalpana Garments on our request. Bank charged 25 for issuing the draft. Amount Kalpana Garments was fully settled. Okay. So bank Kalpana Garments account, how much? 10,000. And I have incurred instantly bank charges of 25 rupees. You know that if you obtain a demand draft, bank may take some commission or bank charges. That's also an expenditure for us. That will be separately booked under bank charges. And the party to whom it has been paid, he has been booked with that Kalpana Garments. How much? 10,000. Okay, fine. Now, why they have mentioned that account of Kalpana garments fully settled? Let us go back where they have mentioned about Kalpana garments 500, 10,500. Fine. So I'll make yet another entry through my journal proper discount allowed account debtor. I'm extremely sorry. Kalpana garments account debtor 500 to discount received because I owe him 10,500. He told me he pay me 10,000 cost of matter. Naturally, I received a discount. Okay. So Kalpana garments account debtor 500 to discount received 500. That's why they told you account was fully settled. It's better, even if they don't ask you also, you support these entries in your cash book. Okay, support the cash book with these entries to be shown in the journal paper. That will impress the examiner a lot. Anyway, you please check up with your class teacher or and get guided by him whether it's expected or can I ignore it. That's up to you. But when I teach, I'll teach in a full-fledged way. Okay, fine. Now, next one is drew from bank for petty cash. Petty cash to bank or bank by petty cash. This petty cash is a very small chapter. It's not worth explaining. You can learn it yourself. Petty cash means it's small cashier will be there. He'll be told, Baba, all small expenditure you take care of. For that, you will be reimbursed whatever expenditure you incur. So a petty cashier will be there. Okay. A petty cash expenditure has been incurred for 100 rupees. Okay. Petty cash, whenever any petty cash expenditure like that they mention, you just debit petty cash account. Petty cash account debtor to bank. That's all. Paid salary by check. By salary 6,000. Very simple. Bank charges 50. By bank charges 50. By interest 1,620. Interest means just don't like take it showed necessarily in the debit side. And they said bank charges 50 and interest 1,620 charged by bank. Interest charged is an expenditure. Why bank charges you? You must have overdrawn. So bank, you have to pay to the interest to the bank. Okay, normally bank gives you interest. So that's why charge interest by the bank is an expenditure. So by interest in the expenditure column or the credit side against the bank column 1,620. Okay. Now they said I just want 4,000 in the cash box. Make necessary adjustments. Fine. How will you go about? You find that on 28,020 on June 30th, 28,300 you have got total in the receipt side, and credit side you have got on that date 14,300. This 3 entries, 10, 3,300, 1,000, 14,300. So cash was available for 14,000. This minus this 14,000. We need only 4,000. Naturally, leave behind that, deposit the balance into the bank. Balance comes 10,000. That is deposit into the bank, a contra entry. Bank to cash account. Please make a contra entry. Okay. I mean, show the contra entry also. Okay. How much? 10,000. Okay. So that's all. 10,000. The balance obviously will get 4,000 here. Total revenue side, put the total side, find the difference. Fine. Now, bank column, I have to balance. A careful examination, I found 48,595. Credit side is more. I total that first. Total the heavier side or side having more amount. Yes, this side is having more amount. I totaled it. I put it this side. I filled it against the difference, indicating against balance carried out. So 1,195 is the balance carried out. Balancing techniques by this time, we are very thorough now. Total the heavier side, put it across, fill the difference, indicating against balance carried out. Debit side, of course, to be followed by 2. By credit side means it would have been followed by. and obviously bring the closing balance as the opening balance of the next day. The diagonally opposite, it comes by balance go down 1195, bank column, the balance go down, whatever cash I had, 4,000. Okay. So that's the end of the class today. We have discussed, rather analyzed entry by entry 4 sums. Well, students, I would like to mention recently that during my coaching classes, way back 25 years, maximum 2 sums only it was practicable to be worked out in a sum. I mean, in my class. Why? Because obviously so much distractions will be there, and some students may come late and re-explaining for them, and some kind of disciplining the students. Like that, time gets wasted. The 4 sums is very good. No? You are in an advantageous position, it benefited a lot. So please practice, and score as best as possible. Only one student matched my paper. I must be honest in telling 100 out of 100 in ISC final board exam. Only others were, most of them were in their 90s, right? Okay, I wish you practice sufficiently and go for matching the paper. Okay. Any doubt, any further help means, please use my WhatsApp number. It has been already given to you or available in the description box. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you.